Welcome everyone back to the Spearhead cast with me, Matt. I have a 2v2 for you all on Arnhem checkpoints. It's a different version of Arnhem checkpoint. Normally it's a 1v1 map. Let's go through the players. For the allies, we have Mr. Whitey White as the Commonwealth, as Royal Armored Regiment with anvil specializations. And we have Deviant as the United States of America without a commander choice yet. Representing the Axis, we have Jacket as the Waffen-SS without a commander choice. And Sun 1 Praxis as Wehrmacht Panzer Division. It should be very interesting. Like, I've not seen Arnhem checkpoint as a 2v2 map, so it's gonna be a very intriguing way of fighting on this one. Oh, we also have a commander choice from the Americans. Looks like it's US armor. Okay, so we have Panzer versus armor. And looks like the SS have picked Sturm. Another fascinating choice. Meanwhile, the Brits will head for the southern flank here, while the... Looks like the Sturm Pioneers managed to take up this town square. Meanwhile, the Wehrmacht troops are pushing up the other flank here. They need to connect their territories, though, to get any resources. Here we have the 11th Armored Brigade. Armored Division, rather. Interesting to see the Royal Armored being used, especially in anvil specialization. I think that's why they got the bull icon instead of the one that's normally an eye. I'm not really an expert on the British units, in all honesty. Americans are being shut up here by the Volksgrenadiers and Pioneers. Volksgrenadiers still armed with their visual Sturmgewehrs. MG34 and a Kugelwagen has also been pulled out. They are ready to push out in case they need it. British troops are coming into the town here, getting good flanking shots at the Sturm Pioneers, mowing them down with accurate rifle fire. British are very good with their rifles. I actually think I read a joke that if you want to recognize who you're being shot by, that if you're being shot by super accurate rifle fire in rapid succession, it's probably the British, as an example. I think that's something a bit how the joke goes. And the British troops are really good. They almost killed that Sturm Grenadier. British troops are very well drilled. They know what they're doing. They're pushing back there. Or pulling back rather, because of the Kugelwagen. Americans are now coming in to support the British sappers here in the town. Probably to try and secure it. Yeah, well, the Germans are trying to deny some cover up here, bit by bit. I don't think Pioneers will last that long against all those rifles. And those Pioneers are stuck, they need to vault over the sandbags. Kugelwagen coming up. We also have some Grenadiers coming in here, the 15th Grenadiers. But I think the Germans have suffered, not really suffered any squad losses yet, but it's definitely become a very big firefight here. MD42 coming out for the Wehrmacht. Rushing across the fields. Kugelwagen is still trying to get a few shots in on the Allies. American 30 cal sitting up in the church though. Gunner gone. And the crew entirely. British troops moving up, throwing a mill spawn. Oh, killing the Grenadiers entirely, oh my god. Looks like the Allies are doing a very good job here working together. Or at least they were. The British troops have to probably push up on the other flank. Vision Versus will carry on to the field, being armed with the big SK. And while those Grenadiers and Pioneers are holding up here around the farm. But the American 30 cal could open fire, but I think it's like, looks like the 30 cal's covering their flank. MG34 coming out for the Waffen-SS. So the British might use the building. Oh, he's just taking cover behind it. Oh, then the Universal Carrier is gonna be the distraction. And now the... Oh, the rifle grenade hit the truck they were behind cover in. Oh, that sucks. So the British have the upper hand then. Now my troops up at the farm cannot hold much longer. They're being hit hard by all the American weapons. The British have the opportunity to push up and take the rest of the fields here, of these vineyards. Yes, the MG34 manned by stormtroopers, a unique thing if you're playing as a Sturm. So So I think the crew is actually pretty competent at holding back the enemy. Definitely already pinning the rifle section pretty well. Because K is present though. It suppresses really fast by having 2 double machine guns in this thing. So it'll deal with infantry pretty well, as you can see. Yeah, well, the British troops here just start pushing up to take these territories when they very easily could. Oh, rifle grade missed again! Looks like the Americans are securing the northern flank though. Very aggressively with all their riflemen. And you for 2 relocating northwards. Promise this is a cutoff point, so if the Allies take it, they'll cut off the fuel.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
And indeed they are. Germans are gonna have to rely a lot on trying to keep that point secured.
Ready to roll. Sorry, but we're being bloody shot at.
Panzerbüchse are coming up on the Pioneers here. Probably to hunt down the Universal Carrier. Yeah, there we go. One good shot there, killing one guy and destroying the tracks.
Scout car has arrived.
That's killing 2 guys. There it goes. But now the Germans really need to take that point. Problem is, I think the vertical can cover half the point there. And there are also American riflemen nearby. I think the Volksgrenadiers is going to have to expend themselves. But there is a 2-2-1 in the field, becoming a 2-2-2. That's a mobile MG42 in the armored car. Supporting the Volksgrenadiers and Pioneers push up through the apple yard, I think. There's probably an apple farm? There might be apple trees. Pineapple going out. But that rifleman squad's not going to get out of there, I think. Oh! Oh my god, he does! That's lucky! German troops are heading for the south here with the Sturm troops. Sturm Pioneers and Sturm Grenadiers. Rifle grade finally hits. British troops are waiting behind the vineyards there. Or wine stocks. I don't know what these are called in all honesty. 222 is now operational.
Our brave infantry is dying.
But the Americans are taking losses. But so has the Wehrmacht. Großdeutschland Division coming out. Unique elite infantry you can get access to. We don't have one of them in the field at a time. Very good infantry. Also serve as scout infantry so they can actually spot hidden units at long distance. That's a pretty useful trait to have. Very good for spearheading your tank pushes, which I imagine is the point of them. Here's a command steward. Recon one coming overhead. Steward might get out of there thanks to the Großdeutschland being present to intercept, but they don't have enough munitions for a Panzerfaust. But obviously, the Americans don't know that. So with them being present there at 2-2, 2 is going to be able to get back. Meanwhile, the Waffen-SS are still fighting down here against the Brits. British troops are flanking. Oh, that's bad. And the British rifle sections are really showing themselves off. And we have another unique unit for armored coming in. The Coldstream Guard Division. I believe these are one of the oldest British regiments that have been fighting since, I think, the American Revolutionary War, actually. And they aren't entirely with US equipment, so that's a very interesting thing. I believe they're also meant to work alongside tanks, so they get bonuses for fighting near vehicles. Very interesting unit, though. So they're right with Thompsons and M1 Garands, rather than Lee Enfields. They're also fully represented in Coming Heroes 3, as I understand, with unique looks and everything, so that'll be cool. It's cool to see the Coldstream Guard, though, being represented. Most of the Americans have made the church into a forward operational base, an FOB. Oh, here comes a half-track and a command looks. Not sure what the half-track was intending to do.
The enemy has dealt us a blow.
But Lux has to be a little bit careful, I think. Playing the cover there, very smart. Stewart's getting some good shots on the Lux, though. Oh, and rifle grenade on top. Pioneers have to get back and repair that looks though. And the 222 is still opening fire on the American lines. Puma on the field for the SS. That'll definitely deal with the Universal Carrier. There we go, one good shot there from the Pack 38 on top of it. SS has lost most of the units though, so that's pretty bad. Poststream Guard are now fighting. MT-42 rushing up here through the apple yards. Gewehr 43 with scope armed on the Großdeutschland. A lot of areas covered with all the apple trees. I don't know if these are apple trees, but I'm gonna pretend they are. I'm not an expert on agricultural stuff, so I'm afraid. 222 is just opening fire in the American position here. Oh. Rifle blade going out, missed though. On one hit. Destroying one of the reels. More SS troops coming out. Another Puma on top of it. And we also have some Wallonians. Essentially alt-right Belgian fanatics who fought for the Nazi cause. Another very interesting foreign unit the SS can get access to. Oh, Panzerfaust on the... Oh! Yeah, there he goes. The man tank gone. And the Panther troops pulling back. Oh, Großdeutschland died! Oh, that's an expensive loss. They actually don't have any actual infantry, they only have pioneers at the moment. Command looks is still breaking havoc though. Wallonians pushing up here to secure the flanks. Remember, we just have normal double Sturm Grenadiers. Sturm Grenadiers are the basic infantry for the Waffen SS, so they'll do okay. Yeah, they're costly though, but that 30 cal might set up here in time. And it is under heavy fire from the 222. It's actually double 30 cals here. And they mowed down that squad. Opening fire here in the center. Lukes and 222 opening fire in the American positions. Americans are lacking in AT at the moment, but they have a 57mm coming up. Church is on fire. F1 coming up for the Germans as well. Oh yeah, the Americans are taking heavy losses here. That's a lot of accurate autocannon fire coming in. Yeah, 222 already has 29 kills. And now the 57mm reveals itself. The church is down, denying the allies a forward operational base. F1 coming in and double Wallonians called in as a battle group. Armed with the MP-34. An Austrian machine gun, or machine pistol rather. Oof. Another machine gun take now of the Americans. The F1 is just killing everything at the moment here. Now the Wallonians are gonna come in to secure the town. There's still 130 cal though. And Defend 4 moving into the building. P at present. F1 got penetrated. Double Mark 5 Shermans being called in for the British. But when they're MD-34 up, it's going to be a nightmare for the Allied infantry to take this town. Because it's in a very good overwatch position in this building. Oh yeah, now the Allies are really being pushed back. But the Mark 5 Shermans might change that. Also command Sherman around for the US.
Got a rifle squad waiting for orders.
Americans have really lost a lot of the infantry though. Here's the Mark 5 Sherman. Opening fire on the Pumas, good choice. Puma cannot fight against the Sherman, I'm pretty sure. More Großdeutschland has arrived though. Using a Panzerfaust on the command Sherman, but they got out of range. Being suppressed by all the machine guns on the Shermans. Germans are lacking in AT apart from that Pack 40, I think. MG34 got killed. Pack 40 is opening fire though. So far, a pretty good match. Ooh boy. Puma's waiting in ambush. Didn't penetrate. It is a Sherman after all. Yeah, the Puma cannot engage the Sherman frontally. Coldstream Guard also present here. Centaur arriving as well with its twin autocannons. Okay. Oh my god, the Coldstream are taking heavy loss though to the Wallonian machine guns. Good mill spawn though, saving the squads. Command Sherman down. Back to the pack. While Volkswagen gets called in to just fill up the ranks. Being suppressed by the vertical. More Sherman Mark 5s being called in. Because as armored, you can get a lot of Shermans if you go Anvil, I'm pretty sure. That's your command there. I don't think you can get heavy tanks though. Yeah, that's a thing Royal Guard and Royal Tank does. Royal Armor is more about supporting your tanks with good infantry. As I understand, but essentially being a mechanized like force. Here comes the Agak. Oh yeah, they are mowing down the Wallonians with those twin piston autocannons. Pretty dangerous weapon. 20mm cannons and it's dual of them and rapid fire. Oh, but a good Panzerfaust there from the Großdeutschland. It destroyed the Agak though, but it did remove its ability to shoot for a while. 22 is just here in the flank. Taking pot shots with its autocannon. 35 kills, pretty impressive. Getting some very accurate shots, but the 57mm is trying to open fire now. It's actually Regency 4. That's very impressive. No Kampfkraft Center from either German player. Oh, that SS is down to just 2 Wallonian squads. That's a pretty hard cell to defend with. Hausturmführer called in, arriving with the unique Sturmpistole. Only available to a Sturm Commander. An interesting weapon. It's essentially a flare gun that's been modified to fire grenades. Actually stuns an enemy infantry squad if it hits with it. It's a unique little thing. Mark 5 flanking. Trying to go for the 222. And the Germans like any AT here to stop him, but the Lukes might flank. No, it's not flanking. Okay, that's a dead 222 then. You could have flanked with the Lukes and gotten shots on the Indian block, which I think you can actually penetrate with the Lukes and the 222 actually. Oh my god, it's getting out of sight. More Großdeutschland on the field. And with Gewehr 43 with a scope and a Gewehr 43 with 2 Gewehr 43s with the Sturmgewehr magazines. Good shot there with the Panzerschreck. That's gonna save the 222 for now. And that's okay, can pay straight. At least not from that range. But the 222 is still operational. That's shocking. It's gonna need repairs though. What Sherman's oh, it's a Sexton being called in instead, okay. No armor for the Americans yet, but he is taking up for the battalion command. Germans has to be very cautious where they move with that Agag around. More Mark 5 pulling up here. Pack 40 sitting up in this little area here. By the bushes. Wallonian still holding the southern flank. Not been much that's pushing up on the southern flank, so that's a fortunate thing for them. BARs have been equipped with an all-American rifleman, giving them a lot of extra firepower. Stealing the MG34 too. The MP34 is actually very accurate, I believe, so for submachine guns. It'll do pretty well at long range here. Also Harpstone here in the flank. He starts running out in the open though. Yeah, we actually saw the Storm Pistol of fire. Command Stug on the fields. And it looks to coordinate alongside it. Ooh, that's a very brave move from the Coldstream. Too brave. Will they get out of there though? Looks like they might. Okay.
Ready to move out.
Panzer 48 arriving for the Sturm. Lost the Hauptsturmführer though. Man, we have a lot of fighting going on over this little small town. It's gonna be left entirely in ruins at this point. Oh, good Piet shot. The Piet is an arcing anti-tank weapon, so it can actually hit the rear of a tank by just firing him towards the front if it's lucky. It depends on the arcing. And here comes the Panzer 48. Using a heat shell? How do you what I would have used against infantry? Well, that's a lot of German defenses coming off. Sexton's opening fire though, that's a really nice place to shoot at. Especially if you can hit around there. Panzer F1 is still present. Oh! Good shot there. Panzer 48 is present though. And will make it very hard for the Allies to keep a fighting position in the town. Lots of Coldstream Guard here, and some 11th Armored Division. But I don't think it'll be enough to push through.
Enemies trying to take a point from us.
They might be able to kill that machine gun though. Also then taking up a hard position in the building here. And the Allies are pulling back, but the Americans are in a position to try and flank. And so much going on in this one. More Wallonians have been called in by looks of it. So we have lots of Wallonian battle groups being present. Sherman 76 command tank arriving for the US. Churchill, that's a Sherman Firefly, I think, actually. Yeah, Sherman Firefly coming in for the British. Ostwind coming in for Sturm. Repairs there severely needed for the German Wehrmacht troops. Panzer. F1 went down by looks of it. Stuck operational, but the Shermans are going to flank. He's going for the command Stuck. But I think he might have overextended. Oh my god, he actually is doing it. That Sherman is doing a lot of work. But now he's immobilized. Yeah, that was kind of brave, but it didn't work out in the end, I think. Both command vehicles are actually down thanks to the effort of this 3-inch. Here's the Firefly. Essentially a 17-pounder mounted on the Sherman hull. Pretty crammed in there, as I understand. Barely any place to move inside the turret. Because how big the 17-pounder's breach is. So it was pretty... It was not an easy tank to be inside. Very inaccurate too. But I suppose a 17 pounder is a 17 pounder. If it hits something, it's gonna break through it generally. So we also have a Wallonian T posing for dominance. I suppose that happens sometimes. But the Germans have to pull back from the town again. Pretty good match so far. Here's the Ostwindow. And I think the Akak has been destroyed. Yeah, the Akak is gone. Double Coldstream Bad going in behind us. Ostwind is going to reveal itself. Now the Sherman could flank here quickly if he pays attention. But there are packs he needs to be wary of. Command Sherman going in. Oh yeah, that's a shot. And there goes the Ostwind. Wallonians tried to flank down here, but it was booby trapped. Looks like we have the British troops preparing for a wide flank here. Might be a good move. Definitely a lot of fighting going on here today. Germans are trying to build up more defenses. Crew of the command Stuk is still on the field. I would personally just pull them back and get a little bit of a refund so you can call in a new command Stuk. That's just me. MT-42 is still doing a pretty good job here. Keeping the Americans at bay. Water arriving for the British here. And more Coldstream. Looks like it's up to the British to be at the front line these days. Guess the Americans supposed to be here for support at this point. And here comes the British on their white flank here. Gonna try and secure this farm with all the wine. Wallonians are still holding the flank, or holding the town. If that Panther 4J goes down though, air grenades going in. Buffalo soldiers called in with a jeep. Easy disembark. There we go. These are African American soldiers, essentially used as static infantry by the United States. We're not that well equipped and that well led because they were African American, so a pretty black spot on American history. But then again, this is the 40s of America, so what do you expect? That said, I would say they were probably very brave fighters. It's very hard to fight for a country where you're not treated as an equal. I actually do believe many of them actually witnessed, I'm not an expert, but I believe they witnessed that they were treated better by the British when they were stationed in the United Kingdom before arriving in Europe. And many of them actually got the idea, like in the First World War, to start the civil rights movement after being in Europe and witnessing they were not treated as badly as back in the United States. So that's another intriguing little tidbit there for the African American soldiers. As they witnessed that, well, they were not treated as subhuman by the British and the French in most cases. Or at least not as badly as they would be treated back home. That's for damn sure. I actually believe a story in the United Kingdom that many of the British businesses were really open to the African Americans that arrived until the white Americans soldiers arrived and actually refused to patronize their establishments unless they made it so that the blacks could not be served there. So some pretty harsh stuff. It was not because the British owners had anything against the African Americans. It was just they needed to keep their businesses running. And if the white American soldiers were not patronizing them, they wouldn't be able to get enough money to go around. So pretty horrible stuff, you know. Regardless, we see them hold the town here with the best of their abilities. Packs coming up. Oof, they'll try to hold the position bravely. The man Sherman is trying to keep the front line secured, leading the front line from the tank. Very brave little Greyhound here. But he got close enough. Probably a good distraction. But there goes the Greyhound. That's the sad side. Assault artillery going in here. Bombing the entire sector. And lots of artillery shells everywhere. Stuk on the field here, Stuk G. There's also double pack nearby. Ooh, this is 76. I thought it was an EC8 for a moment. Both Grenadiers armed with MP4. He's trying to hold the front line up here as best as they can. Oh, Command Sherman down thanks to a pack shot. Oh, and the Buffalo Soldier is being mowed down by an MG42. Yeah, get out of there, brothers.
Forward elements report an infantry unit lost.
The British have secured more of the southern flank here. Good attempt with the egg grenade there from the Wallonians, but the British are slowly just moving further and further up the vineyards. Even added tulip rockets to the Firefly. A pretty potent 60-pound rocket, so this thing can cut through most things if it can hit them. And be quite inaccurate though. It's a really good way to deal with a German heavy tank without them realize they might have lost it within a second due to the tulip.
Engine ticking over.
Texas moving up onto the higher ground here in the vineyard. Oh, there's actually a road there. Oh, it's actually a high. I did not notice that. Okay, neat. Oh, that's a pretty cheeky shot from the Firefly. Trying to aim at infantry. That's not exactly what it's meant for. Artillery called in here by the Germans. Looks like it's going to be 12cm mortar. Boom. The Buffalo Soldiers come out with Springfield sniper rifles. Okay, if they can get to Veteran 2. Veteran 3, they come out with a vertical. Interesting. You can also repair buildings because they're meant to be like static defensive infantry. They're meant to fight from trenches and defensive positions. So, interesting little unit. They actually do get fire superiority, which I find surprising because they are with Springfields. Hack's got some good shots in on the Firefly. Tried to wreck of a Puma. Oh, the Saxon is bombing the German base! That's a very cheeky move. Means the Germans gonna have to scatter. At least the artillery is inaccurate because of the distance and is firing blind. Artillery is actually a lot more accurate when you can actually see your targets, or it being spotted by a spotter unit, basically. American Rifleman holding up here. The Major is actually out of his tank at the moment. They have an EC8, probably the pinnacle of Sherman versions. Really good tank. Has really fast reloading rate, thanks to its breach. I believe it just allows you to slide a new shell in immediately after the last one is ejected. So this thing is like really good at just rapid fire with its cannon. As you can see, it fires very fast. More sector artillery called in. The Germans are losing so many troops there. Often this is down to 2 units. But here's getting the Sturm Tiger. Oh god. We're also seeing a Panther called in for the Wehrmacht. This battle is about to get a lot heavier. A good shot there from the Stuk. Very good shot at the top of the packs as well. Very good coordination of the firing units. But the British are slowly pushing up on their flank here. They're encircling the German position. The Germans are holding the apple fields up here. And alongside a small vineyard there themselves.
Ready to move.
But I think the Germans are gonna need to coordinate and do something big in order to stop being completely encircled. That's a Veteran 5. Oh, that's the same 222. Veteran 5. Very impressive. Axis Stuk's moving up towards the EC8. Oh, good shit there from the Stuk. more British artillery support landing everywhere, so they can tend to just bomb the German base.
Pioneergruppe is ready for
Might be a good idea to get the preventive maintenance from the Waffenkammer so you can repair their base for them.
HQ is under attack. Ready for orders.
Panther is on the field though, and this is a pretty dangerous tank. Higher frontal armor than the Tiger. Really impressive vehicle. Probably the pinnacle of German medium tanks and the precursor to most modern main battle tanks, based on essentially the concept of the Panther. It's fast, got a good gun, good armor. Like, overall, it's a really good tank. We're already seeing it operating here on the flank. Good shot there on the EC8 as well, holy shit. Don't underestimate a Panther. If you can get two Panthers working together, you can be a really dangerous thing. The Sturmtiger has arrived though. He needs to be cautious against the EC8s, but he will win in frontal engagements, I think. The frontal armor of the Panther is just that high. But if one of the EC8s gets penetrating... Oh, good shot from the 3-inch! It penetrated. Panther has to be very cautious. The Sturmtiger will be able to fire 338 centimeter rocket, basically. So this thing is a... Oh god, it's firing. What's it firing at? Well, it took out one Firefly, that's for damn sure. That has to pull back, and you need to spend 150 munitions to reload this thing. It's a very corner piece weapon in Sturm. Essentially, everyone tries to get this thing for obvious reasons late game. It can really change the tide of a battle if properly supported. It even has unique reload animations, as you can see. They're pulling in the new shell, basically, which it has to be crane assisted. Like, it's a very intriguing reload mechanism. And there they go. Panther is fully operational. Looks like he might push up to try and get on a flanking position. The Panther is very mobile, so we will be able to get around the flanks pretty quickly. Sextons is still just chilling the SS base. Almost destroying it entirely, actually. Yeah, I don't think the Germans are going to be able to repair it in time. That's why you generally try and get the Waffenkammer upgrade if you're a Wehrmacht. It can really help repair your base if it gets shelled. You see it's coming. Oh, good shots, but the Panther got penetrated by another shot. But losing both EC8s might be a big deal here. Panther needs repairs. The German base is in peril. Lots of machine guns here.
One of our forward structures has been destroyed.
And there goes the HQ, the Waffen-SS. Yeah, it's not that big of an investment to get the Waffenkammer, I'd say, or the preventative maintenance. Just saying, it's a good idea to get if your base is being bombed by artillery. So your base will just repair itself. You don't have to deal with micromanaging your engineers. Smoke coming out from the Firefly. But too late. Stuck got a penetrating shot. Oh, looks like the Buffalo sword is being used to man the AT guns. Brave of them. Officers are only able to use armor if you're wondering. It's a battle group you can call in from the forward HQ. It's these guys. The 92nd. You can also get the 995th, which are combat engineers. Really good combat engineers, by the way. I rarely see them ever being called in, though. Couple grenadiers being prepared by the Wehrmacht. They just need some troops on the front line, I imagine.
Defend our headquarters.
And the artillery just keeps landing. The Sextons don't give up. Veterancy 5 Sexton at this point. Panther's gonna need repairs. Brave move from the Sturmtiger.
Achtung, be ready, infantry! Counterattack!
Sturmtiger does have a high frontal armor thanks to its sloping. There's actually a mortar pit been set up by the British as well. They're going all in. And the British forward assembly. If you're playing as a British army, you can actually get calling the first Polish armored division. Although I rarely see people use them, but it's cool. You can get the Polish.
Sherman Firefly complete.
But the Panther is ready again.
Foes are behind our lines. Headquarters attacked.
I would perhaps suggest to put the this one in line with the Waffenkammer. Is perhaps this one should also be able to repair nearby buildings, just as a suggestion. So you avoid the issue that Jacket is currently facing.
Combat unit ready. Unit ready.
So it'll help the repair your base buildings to avoid just slowly being bombed to death.
Ready for orders.
That's just my suggestion anyway. Wallonians arriving here. And the Panther is moving up. But is his son perhaps going to go for another Panther? Because he could now. He could also be going for the King Tiger. Which is a hit and miss move, because the King Tiger can be quite fearsome if used correctly. But it's a very slow beast, and it can be easily immobilized. And if the King Tiger is immobilized, it becomes a very easy target.
Firing on our HQ.
Looks like we have the Grenadiers being armed with the Sturmgewehr with the Vampire Scope.
You need something?
But the Panther reveals itself to the front line. Tulips are present. Oh, good shot! Tulips going in. Oh, did not penetrate. And the Stuk is covering its flank. So that Panther is still surviving.
Ready for orders.
This Stuk has done a good job with its Panzer officer on top that's providing more accuracy. Oh, now it's getting penetrated by the 3-inch. Oh, and there goes the Stuk. Pershing arriving for the Americans. Okay.
I got orders. Ready for orders.
Pretty big battle, though. He's going for a normal Tiger. Okay. If he was that close, I would probably just have suggested going for the King Tiger, because the King Tiger is arguably just a better Tiger. But it's more expensive. So he might be going for the more costly thing.
You need something?
Texans are still just destroying the Axis base. Double Panzer 4J being called in.
Keep us moving.
Command 76 present. And Firefly in the southern flank might be in threat here. It has no gun. Yeah, the Panther just slowly moves around and gets into better positions. More Fireflies are just slowly arriving for the US. And here comes the Pershing. The United States' premier heavy tank, but it was reclassified as a medium tank after the war. Which should kind of tell you its reliability as a heavy tank. I think the Panther. Yeah, the Panther has higher frontal armor than the Pershing does. So that should tell you something. The Pershing does have a 90mm gun. So it does have a gun that can go toe-to-toe with the Panthers and Tigers. But its armor leaves a lot to be desired. Also has a 50 cal on top like most American tanks, so pretty potent in that aspect. Sturmtiger firing. Finally got rid of that Fit Red 65 Sexton. Actually, it can be recruited. But it looks like the Pershing is now moving up. The Panther, I mean. Yeah. Pershing is here at the center. Lots of Panzers present. Panther revealing itself to fire at the Firefly. Good shot, ammo rack explosion. And here comes the Tiger. So the Germans are making a good comeback here thanks to the arrival of the Panzer divisions, or Panzer forces. Question will remain to be seen. Oh, good attempt at the flanking shots there from the command Sherman. But the Panther is just too good. Here's the Pershing. Needs to be very cautious. Tiger Pants 48 are gonna go in for the kill here. Oh, looks like one of the allies have dropped. Oh no! Might this be over for the allies? Oh yes, the Tiger. Pershing is not being very accurate here. Immobilized as well, but it took out one of the Panzer Force. But I think with his ally gone, I think the US might pull back shortly.
Lost an infantry unit. They got wiped out.
Just doing a little bit of a stopping motion here. The PAM just slowly cleaning up the southern flank here.
We have casualties.
I would say it has been a pretty good match though. A lot of intense action has been going on in this one. And they have just the two packs holding up here. And outside a shot from the Sturmtiger. Man, really she got really deafened by that one. But yeah, the Sturmtiger is already emergency 4 because it's just been killing so many people. Oh, he finally realized his ally had left. Anyway, I hope you all realized this one. Or liked this one. I'll see you all in the next one, everyone. Bye bye!